Yusef back with another video. And in this video presentation, I'm going to show you how to make a negotiable instrument. And I decided to go ahead and post this on YouTube to get ahead of other people because I see people stealing my stuff on other YouTube pages, and it kind of pissed me off because they're posting something how to make a certified check, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's my stuff, and took it, and took something and made some minor changes to it and made it into a certified check. It's real interesting. I'm, just really tripping out on all you people on YouTube. You can go over there to Geronda's page and look at it. She got it posted right now. They got it certified. It's not even correct. They got good as AVIL. And AVIL is a guarantee on an international bill of exchange. If something comes from Australia, these people, they don't even read, and they just put out stuff and just give it to y'all and tell y'all to go use it, and then they don't give you the proper training behind what it is that you're doing. Find it very interesting. But anyway, I decided I got to get ahead of all of this, since people, I guess, are coming to my webinars and then going back and taking what I'm teaching them and putting out stuff and acting like it's theirs. That's the problem I have with a lot of you cats. And that's why I'm doing this on my YouTube page, because I'm going to show these people where all this stuff is coming from. Because you motherfuckers are out there stealing shit, okay, and putting it out there as if you're some sort of guru. You don't even know what the fuck you're doing. Okay, this stuff takes years. I've been doing negotiable instruments for at least 20 years. And I'm going to show you right now. Anybody who's been at any one of my webinars, they know. So I'm going to give you a little bit of, just a little something to show you, how it is done. Okay, now, I'm going to give you for the layman. Now, what I'm in right now, I'm in Adobe Photoshop. And let me see where I'm going to start. Let's start with some check stock. I just went to Google and Googled check stock right here. And I'm going to take this image and I'm going to save it. I'll save it to my desktop. All right. And then I'm going to go into Adobe Photoshop and I'm going to open it up. Where did I just put it? There it is right there. All right. And let me see what the size of this is real quick. Now I need it to be, we got to make it about around the size of a, kind of like of a real type check, because this is going to give you something to work with. So because you want this to fit on a check, okay? And the check stock is a pretty easy way of doing it. Okay, I'm gonna use this template right here. I think this is a better template for us to start with. Okay, now, a lot of you who've attended my Creating Negotiable Instruments webinars that I've been conducting for the last 5 years, okay, it's a funny thing. People are just now, I'm surprised people are just now doing some of the things that they're doing. Is really kind of interesting to me. But what you can do is you start with a template. Okay, it's 8x5x11 in Adobe Photoshop. I pulled this off of Google Images, and the reason that you want to use an image because you want it to print out on a certain check stock. Now, I've kind of gotten away from using check stock because, people, they copy things and do things like that. I've gotten a little bit more sophisticated with it over time, but I'm going to show you a relatively simple way of putting together a negotiable instrument for yourself in real time. And I'm not going to get into some of the technical aspects of it because people abuse things. If you want to come, you can come to my Negotiable Instruments webinar, and I will show you, some more sophisticated things than what you're seeing. We're holding webinars on Tuesdays and Thursdays on Negotiable Instruments, and you can register for that at privatesidesolutions.com. All right, so first off, I'm going to start with letting you know that first of all, you have to keep a negotiable instrument completely private. Okay, you cannot use the American Banking Association, any of their routing information, or anything like that. If you do, when the receiver of that information is that negotiable instrument is going to get it, he's going to take it to the Attorney General. They're going to look at it and they're going to try to determine if there's anything on here that they can prosecute you for. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you do not put anything public on your instrument. So what I did was, when I first did it, I put private issue. Let me change, make sure I got the red color on here. Okay, at the top right here. All right. And then you can go over here on your layers and just duplicate it. Just got duplicate layer. Duplicate layer, and then I bring down my guides, and then I'll just take it and bring this over here like this. Okay, and I bring out my side guides because I want everything to match up and be even. Okay, so we're gonna make sure everything is. Oops, my guides. I don't know what's happening. I think it's something happening with my mouse, y'all. All right, so we got a private issue. Okay, now a lot of people convert these to certified checks. Now, if you've seen in my other videos, you don't pay taxes and things like that. It was certified. I don't know, they've been using certified checks for the longest. I'm going to show you where the certified check came from. Because a lot of these so-called gurus, they're out here trying to show you how to do things. And once again, they're not telling you where it's coming from. So right now, I'm going to show you where this came from, okay? All right, now this is Cracking the Code 3rd edition. All right, and I'm gonna show you something, and real quick, I want you to see I got like a million things on my computer from over time, years and things that I've been doing in my redemption books and all kind of things. I got like a ton of stuff, and I'm just slowly putting all this on my website and so forth. I got like a terabyte full of information that I've collected over the years on these subjects. I mean, I just believe people are doing some of the things that they're doing. But anyway, this is cracking the code. Now, it's something really interesting in the back of cracking the code. All right, now in the back of cracking the code, you're going to see a copy of a certified check. Okay, where these guys, long time ago, they were making these certified checks. Notice that they didn't put any routing numbers at the end of it. You got your authorized signature, exemption ID under here, and so forth. Payable through, all right, which is language that you need to have. Paid to the order of who it is, certification. It has all the numbers on it. You'll see all this: a documentary draft, bill of exchange, other. This is a pretty nice one. Okay. And they got their authorizations. They would always put their authorizations on here. The authorizations I use, you can either use the UCC, or if you're using the United Nations Conference on International Trade Law, you'd have to use those articles in here. But at the bottom of this check, you can also see their memorandum that they have it. Fiduciary collector posts the uncollected funds into the asset column of this account and charge the offer and acceptance for settlement, prepaid, and exempt when entered into the post-closing balance. This statement constitutes maker's order to pay the instrument upon presentment and endorsement. As an operation of law, payee tacitly consents and agrees that there is accord and satisfaction by the use of this instrument to satisfy payee's claim, and maker is hereby discharged from liability on this alleged account and the obligation is suspended in accordance with law as codified at UCC 3-310B, 38311, 3306, and Public Policy at House Joint Resolution 182 of June 5, 1933. Maker does not waive timeliness. However, if payee needs additional time, payee must present maker with a written request for additional time within a reasonable time, setting forth the reasons payee requests an extension of time with good cause shown. The acceptability of any such request received by maker from payee is conditional upon approval by maker. Any event this instrument is not presented for payment within a reasonable period of time, and there's been no request for an extension of time with good cause shown, payee tacitly consents and agrees that maker is satisfied / discharges the debt claim, read its alleged account. Payee tacitly consents and agrees that payee has a duty to prevent the debt claim monetary obligation from damaging maker in any way, and that payee confesses judgment, and maker reserves the right to initiate a counterclaim against payee and file a claim against the bond of any responsible party, including payee and all principals, agents, and assignees of payee whose acts omissions result in tort damages against maker. All right, now, right here, this confessed judgment is something that you need to look up. That's what's on your automobile contracts. This is why I can come and pick up your car and not have to take you to court, because when you sign the contract, it's a confession of judgment. Look at your paperwork on your car and you're going to see that. But you can see right now that a lot of the little checks that you see floating around, I created, and now I'm showing you where I actually got a template for it. I didn't do mine like this. I actually had a banker give me some information, and he told me to cast it into the form of a check. He gave me an international bill of exchange. I did this 7 years ago, y'all, and it started floating all over the United States. So when you go over there on Joanna's website and you see that certified check she got, I did that 7 years ago. It wasn't a certified check, though. It was a bill of exchange, and they're converting it into a certified check, and they're doing it wrong, as a matter of fact. They don't even know what the stuff on there is talking about. But the special instructions have been removed and just different things like that. You need to put these things on a UCC1 because it has to have a claim against it. Now, you need to come to my webinars and find out all the additional information. I'm not going to put all that out on the internet because I don't think that's responsible for people to do, because these are the kind of things that get people into trouble. Okay. Now let's look at something else real quick. Okay, now here is a document. As you can see, it was last updated in 2003. I just want y'all to get some sort of sense of how long I've been doing it, and how long, all this information has been out. These people are putting out videos like they're creating something new. A lot of this stuff is floating on the internet. All right, but once again, you don't need to be messing with this if you don't know what you're doing. A lot of you will not make trips to the law library. You will not pull out the Uniform Commercial Code and read Article 3 of the Uniform Commercial Code to understand what you're doing, and justifiably, you're going to get in trouble. You're going to get your instruments taken and things like that, and it's going to be justifiably so while that happens, because you don't know what you're doing. But this is for informational purposes only, so I'm going to show you where a lot of this stuff comes from. All right, so in this document right here, got some other good stuff, real good. Got a bonded bill of exchange order. Okay, yeah, the true name, secure party drawer, date, to the Secretary of Treasury, Department of Treasury, have an ABA ledger number. All right, and then you have some nice verbiage on this. The obligation of the drawer acceptor, Secretary of the Treasury, through the Bailey, authorized agent of claimant's financial institution, TTL Department. TTL stands for Treasury Tax and Loan Department. Hereof arises out of want of consideration for pledge, and by the redemption of the pledge under Public Resolution HCR 182, Public Law 73-10, and Guarantee Trust of New York versus Henwood. Now, you're going to see a lot of people, they got a thing called the vapor money theory. You're going to see a vapor money theory. There are a ton of cases on vapor. Just Google vapor money theory. So you can see all the people who go into court and lose attempting to use negotiable instruments to set off debt and things like that, because they don't know what they're doing. All right, they just want to hurry up, put an instrument in, and feel like they're going to get some sort of remedy from that, and it's really interesting. But they cite a lot of case law, and nowhere in the case law does it mention anything like that, because they don't know how to utilize the principles that are contained in the case law and identify that and see how it translates from different spheres of law. You know, you just can't cite the case and not understand what the principle of it is involved in it. But, you know, I've seen cases where people have tried to use this and the judge told them, what are you using this for? It doesn't say anything about what you're talking about, and justifiably so. Because if you're going to use stuff in court, then you need to know what you're talking about and you need to know how to explain yourself cogently, okay, so that everybody can understand where you're coming from. But right here it says this claim document order complies with UCC 3-104. The terms of the original contract hereby surrendered as said pledge is redeemed, discharged by the drawer through the attached document by acceptance for value and exempted from levy. Federal regulations require claimant's financial institution to accept this bill, sign and present directly via certified or registered mail, return receipt to the Secretary of Treasury, Department of the Treasury on the drawer's UCC contract trust account. Okay, and that is the account. There isn't any money in an account unless you become a secured party creditor. You need to have a bond on deposit with the Treasury Department. That is what the secured party creditor is all about, becoming a private banker. You're doing private banking. Okay, you don't have to become a secured party creditor to discharge debt, but you need to have something in the commercial chamber if you're going to have a claim on instruments. That is the purpose of you setting up a commercial chamber. Okay, it's just like, it's the difference in having you a bank account and writing checks and then they're giving you a statement every month. Or you can be the kind of person that uses money orders to pay your bills. You don't have no bank account. You're just giving money orders, okay? That's the difference. You don't have no statement of account, you know, just getting money orders and everything. That's what all of you are doing out there when you just make a money order, all right, and just give it to someone. You don't have a statement of account or anything like that, all right? You can't make a claim on it. You know, what they give you on the money orders, they give you a little, I guess, a little claim ticket that you can tear off. That's what that is. But it's the difference between being cheap and lazy and being sophisticated, I guess, if there is any type of distinction that you can draw from that. But it goes on and says, unless the original negotiable instrument is dishonored in writing within 15 days of receipt by the Secretary of Treasury, claimant's financial institution is to release the credit on hold to the payee claimant within the time stipulated by Regulation Z, Truth in Lending Act, or on the day designated, whichever is later. The amount of this accepted draft is to be ledgered by claimant's financial institution, Treasury Tax and Loan Department, to the designated account for the discharge of the claim, Regulation Z. Now, right here, this drawer's UCC contract trust account, okay, that is when you do your secured party filing. Okay, it's a trust account. Why is it a trust account? Because you are giving a bond, like you are creating a trust, putting a bond into that, and then you're appointing the Secretary of Treasury as the fiduciary agent who is the trustee over that account. With the indenture agreement is written on the bond itself that directs the Secretary of Treasury of what he is supposed to do. Now, I know the secured party process from A to Z, okay? A to Z. I'm telling you, okay? And I look at a lot of these other people and what they're doing is they're handing you Tim Turner documents and all kind of stuff. Here, fill this out. Here's a security agreement. Some people ain't even giving you a security agreement. How you gonna be a secure party? There's no contract. The UCC one is just a notice. You have to have a contract, okay? So, and let me just say this to you. The original way that the secured party was done is the correct way. All of these innovation that these guys are doing is some bullshit. I'm sitting here telling you right now. Y'all are listening to a lot of bullshit that's being put out. Because how we were taught years ago is that judges and bankers put that out. It's been out for years. And then it fell into our hands over time. And now what you're seeing is people out here who want to be guru and they're trying to separate themselves by creating their own type of process so y'all can all worship them and say, hey, look, this is the guru and everything. But none of y'all have a foundation on any of this stuff and know where it's coming from. I'm looking at all of it. I don't see anything. They stealing stuff and putting out stuff like it's theirs. All because people are trying to make money. Okay, when you come to my website, okay, I don't sell you products. Okay, and this for all you people say I sell stuff. All the stuff is free on the internet. You can find you can find security agreements, all that stuff on my internet. You come to my class so I can take you through all these documents and show you what it is talking about. Because don't none of them know. They'll tell you that it's no good. But then if you ask them a question, well, explain it to me. So how is a person going to tell you something no good and they don't even fucking understand it themselves? That is something I've always marveled at. But the thing about it is, okay, you have to have some sort of collateral, and then you have to have some sort of contract as well. Okay, so right here, you can see right here, this is a bonded bill of exchange order. There's a letter of advice. Now, this letter of advice in here, okay, anytime that you present anyone with a negotiable instrument, it has to have processing instructions with it. Okay, now the reason it has to have processing instructions because it is a private instrument. It's not being routed through any of the traditional banking association avenues. All right. So you have to have instructions that you give them. Instructions that you give them. Okay. All right. You have to have that attached to it. They have to know, well, what do you want me to do with this? That's the first thing they'll call you and they'll say, well, what do you want me to do with this? Okay. How am I? We used to having checks with routing numbers, MICR numbers at the bottom of it. Okay. And we route it through our system. I don't know what to do with this. Okay. Well, what it is HGR 192. Okay. The agreement is that they would discharge dollar for dollar. Okay. That has to be done through the Treasury Department. You have to give that to the Secretary of Treasury, and he sends a Fed wire, and he puts that and ledgers that on their account through the Treasury Tax and Loan Departments of the bank. All right. It's not for you to do. It is for the Treasury Department to do because you put together a what? UCC what? Trust account. Okay. And when you put together a trust, the trustees pay the bills. Okay. You don't pay the bills. It's a trust account. The trustee writes the check. Once again, trust law 101. There's a reason that you have these procedures and so forth. Really interesting. But anyway, all right. This is a bond and negotiable instrument void where prohibited by law. Look at that right on there. Everybody wants to know, well, where did you get that from? All right. Well, this is some good verbiage to have on here, as a matter of fact. And, we can even take all that and just copy it real quick. Now I can go over here to my negotiable instrument, my thing. And just kind of like paste this on here somewhere. All right. We can put this down here at the bottom, so somewhere like this. All right. I'm just doing this off the top of my head, y'all. Don't even pay attention. I'm just showing y'all how, basically what they do. They just kind of throw some shit together. Just kind of just give it to y'all. Okay. All right, so we got this bonded bill of exchange. All right. We got our private issue up here. Now they're gonna put I don't mess with certified checks. All right. I do bill of exchange because you have what are called two-party instruments, which is what a promissory note is, and a bill of exchange. The bill of exchange has to draw off of something. Okay, that's why they call it the drawer and the drawee. What is it drawing off of? Well, that's to draw off of your bond that you have. Okay, that's why you have to do a secured party creditor process first. Okay, before you start drafting instruments. All right. So up here we can do something real nice. Let me see. We can do. I'm just gonna put bill of exchange up here at the top. Somewhere like this. Let me just change the font a little bit, make it a little bigger. All right. Okay. Something like that right there. I like this font. I like to use a font called Currency. It's a currency font. All right. I always like to use that particular font because it looks like the money, you know what I'm saying? Do it just like that. You know what I'm saying? It's the money font. I like that. So you can put it like that. You know, you see them, they put the they put the barcode on it. That was my own innovation, putting the barcode on it. The reason I put the barcode on it is because the IRS checks have barcodes, and the barcodes has your social security number on there. Okay, so that's where I got the barcode. So you see them put the barcode on it. They got barcodes on their instruments and they don't even know why they got the barcode on there. If you get a check from the IRS, they got your barcode on there and they get it from the, they put your social security number on there. So I'm gonna show you real quick how to put the barcode on here where I got it from, and let's look at the barcode. Okay, I'm at Barcodes Inc. All right, we're gonna do a custom barcode where you can make your custom barcode. And what I do is I put the social, I do just like they do the IRS. I put the social security number in here. All right, and I always click on advanced options. Okay, and I want a PNG file. Okay, and I don't want a border on it. I usually take the border off of it so there won't be a border, and I'll generate a barcode. All right, and there we have our barcode right there, and I just left click on that, save image. All right, to the desktop, save it on there, and then I go back over here, and I go file, open. Get my barcode right there, open it up, select all, edit, copy. Oops, wait a minute, hold on, y'all. Let me step back real quick. Let me go back over here. It didn't save a PNG file. I thought it was saved as a PNG. All right. Let me deselect this real quick. All right. All right. All right. All right, there we go. All right, so now we got my barcode on here. And the way I had the barcode, they put the barcode on there. And then now the barcode is actually scannable. When you do it like this, it will go through a barcode reader actually and be scanned. I never put it up here in the middle like this. I kind of did what the IRS did. They don't just do it like that. They kind of like put it over to the side somewhere or something like that. Maybe right here. I don't know. You can put it, where are we going to put this at? Let's put it right here somewhere, I guess. Let's stick it right here for a minute. Anyway, all right, so there you go. You got that. All right. Now, right here, you see up here, they'll put something like they'll put drawer and location. Now, they use that on, you'll see that they got this on this certified check. That that don't go on a certified check. That's on an international bill of exchange. There's a reason you have to have the location. Okay, the drawer and the location, because that's what's specified on the United Nations Conference of International Trade Law. See, a lot of you out there, y'all are just getting creative and just doing stuff, and you don't even know why you're doing it. So it's like, so they put drawer and location over here in the corner. All right. So I usually have it over here in the corner like this. And let's see. All right, and let me use another. Let's use a Times New Roman. Uh, all right, I got that together. All right, yeah. All right, and actually, I have my caps locked on. Let me delete all this. And this is really only necessary when you have this on an international bill of exchange. When you just go over there, you see they put it on a damn certified check. Once again, they just putting stuff out, you know what I'm saying, without knowing what they're doing. All right, so, I'm right here, I do my drawer and my location. If you want to underline it, you know, you can underline it. You know, I usually put an underline under it. And, okay, so now I got it underlined. So there you go. So you can see you got your drawer and your location right here. All right. All right. Now, usually with your address, you want to put your address, your name, and everything. People do this in different ways. I did this. I put private banker. And the reason executor was on there, if they still got it, that's because back then that's what everybody was following. The dude who's putting out the executor letters and things like that. But you don't want to put that on there. You know, it's like just leave private banker on here, and then you can put, you know, like something like put your name. And this is when people were doing like, you know, you do your name, you know, like John Q, family of Doe, you know. And they would have the first name, you know, put a semicolon in front of it. I, you know, John Q, family of Doe, like that. Then you want to put your address. And the reason you have to put your location, because on the International Bill of Exchange, it has to be in 2 different states. And that state has to be indicated next to your name. And that's why, you know, we do that. But, you know, this is not International Bill of Exchange. So, you know, 123 Main Street. Was Atlanta, Georgia, Republic. Oops. Non-domestic without the United States. All right. I put that like that, you know, make it go to the side like that. Yeah. I like that. That's kind of, you know, all that's too big. So we want to make it smaller. You know, make it smaller. What I used to do. Yeah, something like a 6 point. It's pretty cool. All right. Like that right there. And then, you know, of course, you know, I got something out of you know, payable to owner or the bearer. I go payable, and I'm not going to show y'all all my tricks to order or to bearer. Now they got payable to order or to bearer on there. They don't even know where it came from. I got that out of a court case, out of one of those vapor money theory cases. The reason you read the vapor money theory cases is because you want to see where everybody's screwed up at, so you don't do the same thing. All right, and then sometimes the judge will throw you some nuggets in there on some things what to do, or you could just go down to the law library. You could find out yourself. You know. Anyway, you know that's the best thing to do. You know, to pull a UCC book off the shelf at the law library, and you can find out what it says right down there. You know. All right, so we got a line, of course, a signature line. All right, and you know, what else I got on here? You know, let me see what I want to put in there. I put a USD. Oh, of course, you got to have your date on here. You always have to have a date on a negotiable instrument. Oops, that's not it. Put a date on there. Yeah, we're gonna move this somewhere right about there. And then you're going to put something like, what else I want to put on here? You want to put your autograph on here. You know, autograph is supposed to be like private. Signature is like commercial. Autograph is like on the private side. That's why you'll see autograph on there like this. Mhm. Something to that effect. And now you'll see on there they'll put as good as Aval. As good as Aval is a guarantee that came out of Australia. You'll find that in the United Nations Conference on International Trade Law. I think it's like Article 46 or 47 or something like that. That'll give you the explanation of what an Aval is. In a situation like this is not an international bill of exchange. So I wouldn't use an Aval on it. They got an Aval on their, their certified check. But once again, I put it on there. They don't know why it's on there. So you know, I'm telling you, you're over here listening to me. You always put without recourse on here. That gets into the negotiability of the instrument itself and where the liability is going to fall. And I forgot, I always put right above it. You can put right next to it by recourse, paid order of. And I guess I use USD. Let me put something else. USD. Let me put this USD. All right, and over here they'll put something like, well, I already got void where prohibited by laws on here and all of that, and you put certified fund. Now they have some other verbiage on here like through the Inslee G United States Trust and all of that kind of stuff right there. They don't see the original document, so they don't really understand what that's really talking about. I guess unless they went through my webinar or whatever. But I'm not going to put it on. I'm not going to put this on this particular webinar. I'm not going to show y'all all of that. But come to my webinars and you'll get it. And I put certified right here. All right. You certified. And then I'll put, remitted par via Fedwire. Oops, I put that on there. Sorry about that, y'all. Hold on. I know I clicked on that. Let's do it over here in the middle. All right. Now I'm going to stop right here because by now you ought to be able to get the sense that, okay, I see it, Yusef, what you're talking about. Now I could add ghost images on here and all this kind of stuff, a lot of different verbiage and different things like that. I'm just kind of like doing this just to demonstrate to you that all this stuff that you see floating around, I'm the one that created it and a lot more. There's a lot more of it. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing it for way before any of this got popular. I've been doing it for years. That certified check y'all looking at, I did that 7 years ago. I did that 7 years ago. And it's still floating around on the internet. I can't believe it went nationwide and people are using. I don't even like to use it anymore because so many people use it that I created a new one. All right. And that's what you should be doing. You should be creating a new one. So, because you're a private banker, you're expected to know how to put together a negotiable instrument. If you're going to put together a negotiable instrument, then that negotiable instrument has to be unique to you. All right. So when it comes through, they can say, okay, this is a person. Just like when you go to the bank, you order different type of checks and things like that. But for you to be using someone's format that's been floating around, first of all, for 7 years. Okay, when you come to my webinar, I show y'all how to make your own individual. I teach you how to use the tools and everything to make yours unique. As a matter of fact, tomorrow I'm going to be looking at some unique instruments and so forth to see how people are creating their negotiable instruments. But for people to sit here and just be putting stuff out on the internet, I think it is very irresponsible to be giving you information and y'all don't know how the person who's giving it to you doesn't know what they're doing, and you certainly don't know what you're doing. All right, that's irresponsible. It's going to get people arrested and in trouble and things like that. But I just wanted to show you, give you a quick glance, just a real quick glance of how I do things. If you want to participate in my negotiable instrument webinar, it's only $25. We will be having one tomorrow night, where we actually go through the UCC and we go through the United Nations Conference on International Trade Law and follow the instructions that they put out that tell you how to do all of this stuff instead of you just going out and just running out and wanting to, you know, put together, something and you just do something like that. But that's my webinar for right now. Hopefully y'all got a little taste of something of negotiable instruments and so forth. This was just like a really quick one that I put together just to show y'all. There is a lot of other things you can do. Of course, you can put your registered mail number at the top, or here your registered mail number is your tracking number for that particular instrument. When you put that at the top, when you got recorded, registered, certified, okay, that's what that number is for. All right. When you get registered mail up here, you'll see people put recorded. What is it? Certified funds. And then after that, you'll put your registered mail number because it has to be tracked. Okay. So, you put a registered mail number. You got to track it. All right. This is your routing number. Okay. This is the routing number for the instrument. All right. And you can change it to color if you want. Red on it. Whatever. I usually like to use red. I usually like to put my without recourse in red too. All right, and now you see it start to come alive. All right, a little bit. So this was just like a little quick, presentation for you to kind of put some things on your mind a little bit, what is possible with a bill of exchange or any kind of thing, a lot of that stuff that y'all are seeing, I put it together. I would even suggest that a lot of the stuff they're showing you that you would even use anymore. All right, I'm being perfectly honest about that. I would strongly suggest that you go to the law library and pull out a book off the shelf on negotiable instruments. You are as a private person or a private banker, you are expected to know how to put together a negotiable instrument. A lot of you out there, y'all just copying other people's stuff and you don't know what you're doing and you're going to get yourself into trouble. Okay, I just did this video today to just let y'all know where all this stuff is coming from. I can look at those instruments and see all day, okay, damn, that's my stuff, you know, because I did it. I'm the one who created it. I can even show you, and I'm showing people in my webinars the original format of the one that the original banker gave to me. And it's not even in a check form. Okay, he gave it to me and told me to put it in a check form. So every time y'all see this in a check form, what I did was I took various elements off of the original paperwork and put it on here because that's what I was instructed to do. And now it's just floating around on the internet and people don't know what the hell they're talking about. So I'm giving this to you. All right, you can do whatever you want to do and everything like that. I'm just showing you how I get down, where this stuff came from, how this stuff is done. Okay. And if you really want to get into this and get into see how to really do this, then come to my webinar and I'll show you how to do it. It's only $25. Peace to all the guys and goddesses. I'm out.